Greetings and salutations everybody, this is LL and today we're going to be exploring some liquid staking opportunities with a DeFi protocol known as Stader or Stader, which we have covered on the channel in the past, but since then they have changed and upgraded their interface and they have also started to support different types of coins as well. Now in short, what liquid staking is, it's a form of staking that basically allows you to have a peg token in exchange for your actual stake. So usually when we stake out coins like Cosmos or Ethereum or Solana, we're not able to access those tokens until the staking period is basically over. But in this case, you're basically getting this peg token, which can be used in things like yield farming or just simply trading it into some other token on many dexes out there. So Stader currently is supporting a multitude of different coins, and here you can basically see the comparison that usually a lot of these staking protocols give you 4 to 5%, but when you actually doing liquid staking alongside with DeFi opportunities, you can actually make a lot more of that. Now obviously liquid staking has a bit more of a risk than normal staking has, but it's definitely something you should look into. Now here is a very brief explanation what we already kind of went through. Stake an amount of tokens, earn staking rewards, receive liquid tokens instead, and participate in DeFi with these liquid tokens. And currently they are supporting Ethereum, which actually just launched. They have Polygon and Herrera, which we have covered on the channel in the past, and also Phantom. But since on my last visit on this platform, they didn't have BNB, they didn't have Terra, they didn't have Near. So there are a lot of different opportunities here for staking, which are definitely worthwhile visiting. There's also 3 different audits done by things like Slowmist and Certic, and there's also on-chain monitoring done by Forda, and there's also a bug bounty done by Immune EFI. So basically, and there's also big partners behind Stader. You have Pantera Capital, Coinbase Ventures, Jump Crypto, Blockchain.com, True Ventures, and there are a lot of different ecosystem partners which we have covered on the channel in the past. And also their token is supported on multiple exchanges, and I'm gonna leave those exchange links down below in the description in case you want to take a look at them. But let's now actually jump into the meat and the potatoes of things. And we're going to be using BNB here. So I want to actually stake my BNB. And what we're going to be doing here is we're obviously going to be connecting our wallet. They actually support quite a lot of these wallets here, which is very nice. I'm going to be using MetaMask here to basically connect in. And voila, we are now connected. And basically the APY is 3% for BNB. If you're going to be changing out different coins, obviously the percentages are going to be different. And we're obviously going to be staking out some BNB here. Basically what you can do is put up any amount you want. So there's no minimums here, which is great because for example in Ethereum, you need to have 32 Ethereum to basically get started. And that's why these liquid staking platforms are really nice, because they're removing a lot of those actual limitations underneath. And this gives us a lot more freedom. In case there's a hack or something going on or the price crashes, the liquid tokens can be dumped a lot faster obviously than waiting 24 days until they're unstaked or something. So I'm going to be putting out a 0.5 BNB, and we're going to be staking. What I really like about here is basically telling out the transaction cost or the estimates for those transaction costs to basically get started out, and it's around 6 cents according to this. And I'm going to be showing you some yield farming opportunities after you have basically done the staking with Stader. So we're not really just limited into getting the BNBX, which is the equivalent of the staked PNB that you have. So, and as you can see, it's not 1-to-1 peg. If you have 0.46, that is equivalent of 0.49 in BNB. And that's kind of very normal. So now we have BNBX, which we have around half. And if you want to unstake it, there is an undelegation time of 7 to 15 days. That is dependent on different things. There's also withdrawal tab here. And these are for the rewards, okay? And here are, by the way, if you want to look into the actual audits of the company, you can do so as well. They do also have their own governance token, SD, which I think they released probably not too long ago. And here you can see already some yield farming opportunities where you can basically farm it out in case you want to participate on that. But there are some good platforms which actually support Matic X and also like BNBX. One of them is Thena, and Thena is, well, basically a native liquidity layer, basically on Binance Smart Chain. This has been audited by Open Zeppelin. It's seemed to be pretty popular already. $68 million are already being locked in. And basically what it allows us to do is provide the BNBX with a BNB pair. So we're going to be putting both of those. And they have this very unique bribing system, which I think this is like totally proprietary. There's no other DeFi system that is basically using it. So what it does is when you lock the tokens, when I'm locking out my system, so the token, which is Thena tokens, for 2 years, you will receive escrowed VT. And this is basically, the longer you lock it, the more VT you will be getting. And then will give you basically to vote on your favorite pools, which should be receiving the D emissions. And then you have the ability to basically vote on the pools and claim a share of the weekly bribes and the trading fees that those pools basically receive. And there's a lot more of actual tokenomics and everything, you know, around it, this Thena system. So you can read about it more in the actual description down below. So I have all the links there. So what we're going to be doing here is going to be going into Liquidity. And here we're going to be seeing already that there is the BNBX and BNB. And this is a great pair, by the way, because they are basically the same tokens, okay? Like there is no depegging that basically can happen because they are roughly on the same value, because they're valued at the staked BNB versus BNB. So it's a very safe pair, usually kind of similar to like stablecoin pairs. But as you know, stablecoin pairs don't actually give you a very high APRs. But in this case, we are getting a higher APR here, contrasted into this stablecoin pair that we could basically use here. And there's obviously higher pairings for the BNB and the token, which you can also put in. So if you want to put half of your BNB into the BNBX and BNB pairing, that's one thing you do, and then you can use the APR rewards that you will be getting into another pair. So what we're going to be doing here is putting the actual thing. I recommend using automatic, and manual is something you can do as well, but you have to like put out the prices and everything. I don't like to fuck with that stuff. So I'm going to be putting out 100% of my BNBX, and I'm going to be putting, and there's a like we can immediately add the liquidity and staking on a one click, or there's going to be multiple clicks here. And after we have done this, we're going to be having all of those Thena rewards coming in, and that's actually very, very good. So we're going to be getting yield rewards, and we're going to be getting the Thena rewards top of that. And there's going to be a couple of approval things here, not too many, and we're going to be putting a max amount. You can always put out the amount that you want to, depending on you can always revoke the access, or you can revoke the limits, by the way, by using revoke cash in case you're unsure about the amounts that you want to actually allocate. I can do this farming for some weeks now, some months now, and then when I'm like done, or the rewards for this specific pair are stopped, I can just take all back and just like keep on my money on BNBX, you know, just accrue those staking yields. Now, obviously, the BNBX is not like super liquid token compared to the BNB itself, so that's something you have to think about. But there are, as you can see, there's already many people who have provided both BNBX and Wrap BNB here. So there's at least liquidity in this protocol and a couple of others, so you don't have to worry about like too much of having no liquidity to exit out from this current pair. And we should be having a couple of last transactions here. So there's a couple of many, so prepare to have some gas fees. Don't put all of your money in this specific system. And lastly, we're going to be staking out the LP tokens in the Gauge, and then we're going to be starting to accumulate those rewards. And obviously this is becoming the more of a norm where we're probably going to be heading in terms of like liquidity farming. Gone are the days of 20% yields on stable coins and other crazy APYs. I think the liquidity staking is probably the most stable form of technology that we currently have. And here we can now see our rewards, or they should be probably coming out in a second. There's also a referral system, so in case you want to be wanting to interact with Thena as well with these liquid staking opportunities, I'm going to leave my referral link down below so you can basically use it. There is rewards that you will be getting them there, and apparently like a leaderboard, which is going to be getting you extra potential rewards based on the amounts of people participating on all of these liquidity things. And here we can put out the staked only tab, and we can see all of these things, and you can claim the earnings. Obviously we don't have much here of V because we just started out, and I can see my stake, I can see my pool, and how much of BNBX and wrapped BNB there is. But as a closing note about Stader, there isn't really that many liquid staking opportunities for all these coins, especially listed here. So I think it's very smart to actually interact with Phantom, Polygon, Near, Hedera, Terra, and BNB, and even Ethereum, to basically not putting all of your sum in there because there's always risks, but fundamentally understanding that you're going to be losing also a lot in returns, of potential returns here, by not participating on certain like DeFi opportunities, what things like Thena and other these protocols basically allow you to have with relatively low risk. As I said, the BEC tokens don't really have that high of a chance of impermanent loss versus the actual main token. But thanks for watching, guys. You can find all the necessary links down below, and I will be seeing you in the next video when it will be dropping out. Until then, see you soon.